Hi, welcome to Women, Culture, and Society. This is a fun class, and I hope most of you who are taking it are excited about the different parts of this. And we're going to be talking a lot about European women and women who are in societies that have evolved from European colonization of the Western Hemisphere and other places, and their contributions to culture and society, mainly through the arts. And by that, we mean arts in a variety of different ways: music, art itself, sculpture, writing. As we go along, we'll also be into the newer medias like recording. So lots of really fun stuff that we're going to get to play with here. This is both an art history class and a European history class and a gender history class. So a lot of different components going in this class and a lot of different ways to make the class work for you the way you want it to. Starting initially with your very first post, your introduction post, where among the things you're asked is to identify a current modern female artist that you really like and talk about why you like her. So I want you to put some thought into that. What does she represent to you? That makes her important to you. She can be in music, she can be a writer, she can be an actress, she can be any kind of artist at all. So find someone who's really interesting to you and important. This person will come up again in week 5. So you want to be sure it's somebody that you really like and you know enough about to want to actually do a little bit of research by the time we get to week 5. With all of that in place, the first thing I'm going to do is kind of introduce you to the basics of the course. I have set up in your announcement page here a bunch of what I call reference announcements, and these are the basic kind of things, but I still want you to read through them. Diversity inclusion, the late policy for discussion posts. Your discussion posts are due on Thursday of each week. If you have a problem and you can't get it to me, you need to let me know before it's due. And that also holds true for any of the assignments. You're going to have some journals that you're going to be doing each week. You're going to have some um, a big paper at the end you need to do. So for all of these things, if you have any reason that you're going to be late, you need to let me know before the deadline. Otherwise, the penalty for discussion posts is 10% per day because the discussion posts require you to engage with the rest of the class. They're not just for me. You guys are talking to each other. So if you're late with a discussion post, you're kind of going to hurt other people's ability to do their peer comments as well. And you wanted to spread your peer comments out over the 4 days between Thursday and Monday. You want to try to do them on different days. Try to keep some discussion going. It's a really fun kind of way to exchange ideas. And if you get into a conversation with either me, because I'll respond to all of your discussion posts, it's something that can keep, again, the conversation going and make it really interesting. Um, on that note, if you respond to me, that also counts as a peer comment. And as a rule, I am going to try to ask you questions to help flesh out your ideas in your top post. If you're missing information in your top post, some of my questions will be directed towards that. So responding to me can be beneficial to you on a number of different levels, not just as, getting the check mark for having a peer comment, but also because it will help you round out your information to get the higher points, the more points on the grading rubrics. So among the things that I think is the most important, though, is this one right here. What is plagiarism? Now, we all think we know what this is, but I encourage you to review this because there are a lot of ways you can do it accidentally. And one of them is if you copy and paste something and forget to put it in quotation marks. Even if you cite it, it still has to be in quotation marks because those quotation marks tell me and anybody else who's reading it that this was not your idea, nor was it the words that you came up with to express it. This is somebody else's idea and somebody else's words. So you must put quotes in quotation marks and you must cite immediately after the end of the quote. On the same note, you must also cite at the end of a sentence where you've used an idea from somebody else, even if you put it in your own words. The third time I would mention that you need to cite is if you're talking about something that's not common knowledge. And we're going to do that a lot in here because a lot of you are going to be talking about different people, different artists, different things. If it's not something that you think the rest of the class will know, you need to make sure you cite after it so that you have somewhere that they can go to actually look for more information, if nothing else. To that end, you'll be doing some research, you'll be doing some reading and some different things. I encourage you, the library, the Writing Center, these are great places. The Writing Center has Grammarly. If you are not a strong writer, I encourage you to run your top posts and your journals through Grammarly. It is an excellent program. It'll help you with the literal grammar of your posts, but it'll also help you with things like knowing where you need a citation, making sure that your references are all good. I mean, it's a really good little program and it's free. All you got to do is just take the time to be ahead of the game, to get it there, to let it run through Grammarly so that you can then edit it. The other thing I would point out, kind of going with the plagiarism thing, is that all of your journals are going to go through Waypoint, and Waypoint is immediately attached to Turnitin. But also, all of your discussion posts are going to go through Turnitin. I completely discourage you from going anywhere like Course Hero or any of those sites where you can buy discussion posts and things, because if it's ever been into Turnitin, if the first person who posted it on Course Hero put it in Turnitin, it's going to show up again. And I'm pretty much a real stickler about that because, I mean, this is an online course. We have to be very careful about that. And the value of your degree comes from the academic integrity of the institution itself and your own academic integrity. So do your own work. If it is a quote from a source and you've got it in quotation marks and a cite, Turnitin. It's going to show that to me. It's going to say, yeah, it's, this person cited it, this person quoted it, it's all done. But if you don't do that and it starts showing me that you've got big matches to other places, then you and I will have to have one of those unpleasant chats about plagiarism. So let's not do that. Just bear in mind that I'm going to check all these things and keep up with it. Now, on that note, among the other things that you're going to need to do when you initially start the course is you're going to need to look at the syllabus and the modules. And the modules, I'm clicking on the module thing here. It actually says start here. And the way that UAGC is structuring stuff now, if you don't go here first and click, it's not going to let you into the rest of the course. So you want to go into the module section first, go to where it starts. This is going to give you your checklist of what you're doing, tell you what you need to read, the syllabus, the course calendar. The course calendar is great because it tells you when everything is due. And again, it's also going to give you the fact that, like right here, your introduction should be on your first day of class, which would be Tuesday. You want to get it in there and you want to be sure to read the instructions on that so that you know what you need to have in that post your introduction. It's not just who are you, what are you doing, how you love school, all that kind of stuff. There's actually a question in there, like I said, about artists, someone that you really like, and why you like them, and what that person does that makes you like them. So again, over here on this side, we have all your other things, course policies, the Writing Center access, course resources. You're going to need this. And it's going to show it to us because I accidentally clicked on it, like Turnitin, again, kind of explaining what it is, student resources, career service office of student wellness, all kinds of fun things like that. Discussions, like I said, this is going to show you where your discussions are and when they're due. It will actually give you the due dates for them, so keep up with that. Your learning activities, which are also required, and when they're due. And then, of course, your assignments as well. And in the assignments, it actually does show you, again, the discussions, but also the journals. You'll have a journal due each week. These are a couple of pages long. They're not that bad. They just do require that you cite. And then, of course, the final paper, which is going to require you to basically cover the scope of the course, picking 3 of the artists that we've talked about in the course from different time periods and different artistic fields, and talking about their contributions to gender roles and the way that gender changes, particularly in the Western world, from effectively 1500 when we start the course to the present. So with that in note, if you have questions, please feel free to email me at any point in time. I've got my email address, and absolutely all of the announcements I post, I'll post announcements. Well, these again are the first big ones for the starting of the course, but you'll also have ones hopefully every Monday evening. That's when I have them scheduled to post. to introduce you to what we need to do for the following week and what's going on, to give you helpful hints, if possible, about the journals and what you need to be looking for, and also about thinking about your final paper. So with that in mind, welcome to the course. I'm really looking forward to working with you, and I'm looking forward to the content. I hope you have as much fun with this as I do.